this is Dr. Don Eddy with Terrible Schools. There are many reasons that the quality of public schools are just terrible. Some would say that public schools have become degraded because parents seem to do nothing at home to curb the behavior of their children, that do nothing to forward their academic, behavior, or social progress.
I happen to have this situation where there's a student who is a drug addict. I think that it's ridiculous that this kid's mother has no idea that he's a drug addict. If she doesn't know, she has to be in denial, because he comes to school high just about every day. Not only does he come to school high, but he is also known for sneaking vapes in the school, and he's also known for crushing up pills and snorting those. This is information that I've learned from hearing other kids talk and hearing him talk to other kids. Which, by the way, is one of those weird things about this dumb generation of kids, because I wasn't necessarily an angel when I was in high school, but I do remember being, whether it was in the class or in the cafeteria, and if we were talking about something that was just for our ears only, if some other student would have walked by, we'd stop talking. If an adult walked by, we definitely would stop talking. But these kids today, they tell all their business, all their parents' business, and any business of anybody else's that they feel like talking about just because they find it interesting. In fact, I learned a lot about the personal lives of my colleagues, much more from my students than I do my colleagues themselves. Yesterday, I had a problem with this student. Now, keep in mind, we were in financial literacy. I'm teaching financial literacy, and we're talking about how to calculate simple interest. And for anybody who's listening who is an adult, you should know how important it is to understand the basic concepts of simple interest. And of course, as it's been attributed to Einstein, who people say he said that compound interest was the eighth wonder of the world. So obviously, if you struggle with simple interest, you're probably going to struggle with compound interest. So while I was going over the formula for simple interest yesterday, this student was talking to others. He was on his Chromebook, and I told him that he needed to focus. I suppose at some point he just got tired of me telling him to focus, because I called his name again, and he was like, "Why are you always after me? Why don't you talk to nobody else?" The initial fact was, he should have been paying attention to how to do simple interest, but he wasn't. He was jacking around, talking to his peers, and playing on his computer. So it's no surprise that he didn't end up doing his work. Well, he cussed me out, and I kicked him out of class, so I had to write a referral, told his mother about it. The good thing was, this morning, he apologized for being that way. Okay, fine. Well, by the time we got into class, he seemed to be the same kid from yesterday who wanted to talk, didn't want to pay attention, while we were going over the work from yesterday. So again, he didn't get it yesterday when I went over it together as a class. He didn't even get it today when we were going over the new assignment in class. So I gave him another assignment to complete that only had 5 problems on it. 5 problems relating to simple interest. So in my class, kids aren't allowed to use Chromebooks. So instead of this kid applying the formula and using his calculator, he decided to put all the questions in AI. And I told him that it would not count and he needed to do it manually just like everybody else. He had the nerve to keep on doing it his way, and then he turned in his paper like I was supposed to accept it. I told him, I'm not accepting this. I've already told you what you were supposed to do and you didn't do it, so you're taking a 0. Now let me back up. Before he turned the work in, I decided to take a picture of him on his computer and I sent it to his mother. And because I know that I would probably get some type of, well, there shouldn't be a reason for him not to turn in his work, blah, blah. I don't want to hear none of these excuses, okay? And so I took a picture, I sent it to his mother, and I said something like, well, I appreciated him apologizing for his behavior yesterday, but unfortunately he's being a jackwagon today. Well, I didn't call him a jackwagon in the email, I'm just paraphrasing. And he needs to close his Chromebook, but he refused. And he tried to turn his work in, and I told him he wasn't getting credit. She said, well,
they were just terrible.
In my opinion, you need to just take away his Chromebook. Like I told you folks, I don't even use Chromebooks in my class for real. So I told her that was something she needed to deal with the administration. But the idea that she got upset and said, I didn't give permission for anybody to take pictures of my child. You have no business taking pictures of my child. You don't have to send me pictures to send me proof. And I just thought it was really interesting. Like, so out of the last 2 days we've been conversing, it seems like the thing that you're really most upset about is me sending you visual proof that corroborates what I've been telling you. I don't know what it is about public schools where we just accept any type of stupidity from parents. I didn't give her much pushback except just to say it was her responsibility to talk to the administrators if they want him off the Chromebook. I hate these Chromebooks. Chromebooks were probably the worst thing in education since special ed has been corrupted. There are so many teachers who are not subject matter experts anymore because they just give kids computer program lessons that they don't even have to grade themselves. So you have also a situation where there are kids who just go to different cheat sites, I guess, and they're able to get answers from there. So despite the fact that kids are not able to achieve grade level mastery, we're enabling these students in the disabling of their own abilities and skills. At some point, public schools are going to have to make a stand with some of these dumb parents. Because if you are more concerned about a teacher taking a picture of your child doing the wrong thing than you are concerned that your child is consistently doing the wrong thing, you're a dumb parent, and it's no wonder that your kid is acting up all the time.
This is Dr. Don Eddy, and I'm going to leave you with this. Why is one child's right to an education more important than another child's right to safety?